Hi, my name is Ray Catola, and you may know me from the such projects as... You may also know me as the host of the internet's favorite harness handicapping show, North American Harness Update, which I host with these two guys, Mike Prebosi and Rod Adams Jr. Every Friday from 9 p.m. Eastern, you can catch us talking harness, handicapping harness, and most importantly, having fun with harness. Can we please get this stuff out of my face? Thank you! North American Harness Update, Fridays from 9 on SRN1. Also download Often Pacing, and using promo code NAHU200K, start your stable with an additional 200,000 coins. You can also catch show archives and racing analysis over at our website, NAHUPicks.com!
Now here's North American Harness Update on SRN1.
When I was a little boy, I used to travel the countryside, and I would do so very loudly, apparently.
I was gifted with that for some reason. Not strength to lift up cars, not the ability to cure diseases. No, I was just an obnoxious jerk with a really loud voice. And with that, I would run through the fields and not really accomplish much of anything. It was not that inspiring a story, which is pretty much a full representation of my life up to this point. Welcome, everyone, to another edition of North American Harness Update. Back with you, Ray Catola. I was out last week, and my two guys over here, Mike Prebosi and Rod Adams, filled in, did a great job from what I heard. However, Rod, I don't think you really had to go off on that much of a rant about the welfare system. Like, to me, that seemed like a little much. And Mike, I know you love baseball, but I mean, you gotta keep your focuses centered, and that's me saying that. Gotta keep the focuses centered. But I'm glad you guys are here back with us, and also joining us, a special guest, and I'm for some reason crooked on the video feed. That's the best it's gonna get. Mr. Charlie B. I don't know if you want the B to stand for anything. We can make up what it stands for. I can make it stand for a lot of things. B for bird, B for Bert, like Bert and Ernie. But Charlie, first off, welcome, and thank you for joining us here for this show.
Thank you so much, Ray.
That felt both so genuine and ingenuine, and I feel like that's why I really like you.
Well, the word you should have used was sarcastic, but okay.
That's what I was going to say.
A new host coming next week.
However, for those of you watching on the video feed, you can currently see me donning our exclusive North American Harness Update apparel. However, in an effort to try and, boost sales, I decided I'm going to try and, market a little more and kind of flaunt it a little more. So tonight, I'm going to try and raise the sex appeal. Ooh. Taking off the glasses, and I'm getting word right now, sales have not gone up. In fact, they're plummeting. I'm getting word that people are actually returning merchandise now. They must be so offended by how I look. So
Put them back on.
Mike and Rod, this has turned out to be a very ironic turn of events, because most people say I look better without my glasses, but then again, those people aren't sober. Tonight on the show, I'm not going to go further into that. Tonight on the show, we have racing, as we should. It's a harness racing show. And Mike and Rod, I thought you guys would find that funny, especially with me saying that. Charlie, you're technically in on the joke, too. You're basically a host on this show. You listen to the show. You know the mythology. You know the lore. You know the storylines.
Sorry, Ray, I'm not a psychologist, no.
We have the late pick 4 from London that we're going to talk about and start previewing momentarily with Charlie, because he threw together a ticket. We have a little graphic for him. All of these will be going up on Twitter and Facebook in a moment. Rod, how many minutes are we from the late pick 4 at London?
A few.
That's not a number that helps me.
5.
5 minutes. Oh boy, we got to get going. So the 7th race at London starts the late pick 4 sequence. It's a guaranteed pool of $5,000. The 7th race is a claimer. I remember this. I'm feeling very stressed right now. It's great to be back, and I love the pressure that this show gives me. Oh, it's similar to an ulcer. So this is an $8,500 claimer. It's a trot, purse of $5,000, and we are scratched down to a field of 7 with the 6 victories. Peanut Gonzo, like the bean. That said, it's actually garbanzo. They aren't called gonzo beans. But I'm going to send it off. How about, we'll send it off to you, Mike, to start us off, because you're 3 deep. I'm pretty sure you're 3 deep. I don't think you substitute the 6 here.
Yeah, 3 deep. I'm going to use the Wander Ray for the winner, just moving inside. This horse had raced well earlier.
Whose volume is way up?
And
Somebody's volume is way up.
Nobody's volume.
Was getting good checks then, had outside posts, and was not racing quite as well. I like the move inside. The 5 facing Justice is obvious, dropping. Was outside last time, made a big move, and then leveled out. Better post. Shepherd back on, like that one. And then the 7, Spicy Victor, has won at this 8,500 level. Likely favorite, but stuck in the 7 hole. That could be an issue, 157.
Now, Rod, you're also 157 here. Anything to add?
With the 1, this horse was really good. 4, 5, and 6 back. Last time just had no chance. He was trying to keep him flat. Drops back down to a level where he's supposed to be the favorite. 2 starts ago, he was the favorite, and he made a break before the gate folded, so he was just out of the race. This is really my key play in this race, and I think you're going to get an okay price, especially for him, so make sure you use that horse.
Oh, thank God. I was stuck in that stopped talking. And as for you, Charlie, you expound upon that a little more. You take the 157, but you're adding another.
I'm not adding another. I'm just 1,578 in this race. I think that the 7 and 8 are the top 2 horses in this race. But I think if maybe for some reason that the front end collapses, that the 1 has a chance to come and run down those horses.
Now, you're 4 deep with the 1,578. Mike and Rod both with only the 1, 5, and 7. I'm tossing the 5 completely. I want this horse nowhere near anything that I possibly love or dream of, mostly because I don't like the fact that she's dropping into a claimer off of subpar efforts, dropping down in class. Seems like he's just kind of jonesing for a spot where he might be able to collect checks, and that's not really the kind of horse I want. I'm sorry. I don't need to apologize. I have standards for a reason. That said, I'm 178 here. Hooray for the winner. I was back and forth throwing onto the ticket, but because she draws the rail and because if she stays flat, she could potentially be forwardly placed, and she has a good record of being forwardly placed and doing well there in the past, she could possibly perform well here, but in all honesty, this race is surrounded by Spicy Victor and whatever he does and whether he's good enough or not. Plus, Go Get Bruce should be able to get into the mix if the 1 leaves from the rail. So I'm 178 in the first leg of the sequence. Second leg is the 8th race. It's a $15,000 filly and mare claiming pace, purse of $5,600 on the line, and we have 8 horses lining up here. Mike, to start off with you, 3 deep.
3 deep, the 3 obvious ones. The 1, New Boston Town. The 1, 4 out of 5, and just missed in the other one, draws the rail. The 3, Sparkle, comes off 2 qualifiers. 1 had broken equipment, just pitched it. The second one, crushed by 9. I like the post, won 7 times last year. And then the 4, Daenerys. This horse is a little bit of a closer, could get a setup, and was bet to 8-5 last time at this level. 1-3-4.
Now, Charlie, I understand you're also 1-3-4. Is there anything else?
I will only say that the only sleeper horse into this race could be number 8, Emotions. Jay Harris is a hot driver going on right now, and sometimes those horses coming in from Flamborough can be tricky at London. So,
hey,
1-3-4 look like the.
I want to stop you real quick because Jay Harris is watching right now.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
He just tuned
driving?
in.
That's impressive.
That was a nice cue there. Are you going to go to me now? Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay.
So, Rod, you're 2 deep, and I agree with you here. Talk about the 2 horses so I don't have to.
Yes, I'm going 1 and 3. I thought the race was pretty simple. The 1 has been razor sharp the last 5 starts. Winner of 4 of those 5 and got beat a neck the other time. Half to use from the rail. And then the 3 Sparkle. That's a good qualifier. Maybe this horse turned the corner. We know this horse is quick enough to beat these 7-time winner last year. I think have to use, especially off of that good qualifier.
Rod, I couldn't have said it better. I mean, I probably could have, but I really don't want to. 1-3
Doubtful.
for me in the second leg. Third leg is the 9th race, $7,000 filly and mare open claimer. We got 1, 2, 4
Jay,
horses lining up here.
Hey, Jay.
Mike, to start
Jay
Rod,
Harris says he doesn't like my picks.
Are you trying to say words right now, Rod?
Yes, I said Jay Harris.
Right now?
Jay Harris said he doesn't like my picks because I didn't pick his horse.
That sounds like a bit like nepotism. So, Mike, for you, too deep in this third leg, do you use Jay Harris this time?
No Jay Harris, although maybe he might not be a bad ad. But I'm a little chalky here. The 5 and 6. 5 comes off the claim for Shepherd. Will be sub-even money for sure. And then the 6, Jeremy's Jewel. Speed last time. Pretty easy win from the rail. Needs a setup. It's going to have some speed around, though. So 5 and 6.
You know, funny that Jay Harris is watching because this is turning. The Jay Harris bit is what we're doing right now. But with the 7 horse in this race, I thought the only way this horse has a shot is if she leaves. So I don't know if that means anything. I don't know if Harris could add to that in the comments whatsoever. But to Charlie,
it looks like he's trying to come on the show. Maybe he's going to come on.
I'm not stopping anyone from coming on.
Jay Harris is about to come on the show right now. On the spot. Jay Harris is coming on.
Oh, right now? Wait, but don't we have like 2 minutes until post?
We have actually 35 seconds.
35 seconds?
Well, everybody sees the tickets.
Okay,
right.
Yes, the tickets are out. Charlie, I'm sorry. I'm just going to rely that you have a good opinion and that your graphic looks nice.
All right. All right, we've got a few seconds. Give some shout outs because we got a ton of people watching right now on Facebook. Adriana Sorella watching, Perry Lambert, Daniel Kahn, who watches us every week, Tim Mansfield, Roy Wilson, Ryan Pfister, Travis Henry's watching right now.
God, all of this is it's just saying pressure to me as I'm getting ready to call this race. This 7th race from London, scratched down to a field of 7. Spicy Victor, the 7 horse, the favorite at 8-5. Co-favorite here, the 5 Facing Justice, also 8-5. And then 2-1 on the 8, Go Get Bruce. I'm alive to the 1-7-8. Mike and Rod to the 1-5-7. Charlie's got all of them 1-5-7 and 8.
Yes, I do.
We're covered.
They're getting ready to line up. Oh, Jay Harris isn't driving in this race. That's how he's watching. Okay. That
would be really cool if he was.
That just clicked into my head. I mean, you need 2 hands on the reins in order to, drive in Canada, or else you get a 15-day suspension. What do I know? So this race is lining up in motion and approaching the start. 7th from London is off and rolling. Schrader Hanover out with Abe's Earl, and alongside Facing Justice with Hooray for the winner from the inside, leaving 2 around that first turn. Getting the front here, Schrader Hanover from Hooray for the winner second. As they move on to that opening quarter, parked out then Abe's Earl by Go Get Bruce, sneaking up the inside now to take third. Little Wheelhouse then back 5th. Ducking towards 6th, Facing Justice towards the back of the field. Spicy Victor, the 6-5 favorite as they move on down the back stretch, led by Schrader Hanover. Leads by 2 1/4. Hooray for the winner second, 30-1. That opening panel, Abe's Earl left out, now advancing uncovered with about 2.5 lengths to make up around that far turn first time. Catching that cover, Shepherd and Facing Justice, as well as Spicy Victor third over. So turning to the stretch first time. Schrader Hanover leads 4 in, 3 out as Abe's Earl tries to advance on the outside second. Alongside then Hooray for the winner from the pocket. And it's back to Go Get Bruce, locked in by Facing Justice on cover through a 101 and 4 half-mile. Moving into that clubhouse turn, 10-1 here. Schrader Hanover has some separation over Hooray for the winner. Leads by 2.5, now 3 to the back stretch. Abe Zerl not advancing on the outside, dropping back in between horses as Facing Justice circles 3 wide. On her back then comes Spicy Victor. Go Get Bruce looks for room to the inside as they move on to 3/4 to catch here. Schrader Hanover leads by 4 and 1, 31 and 1. Closest threat, Facing Justice looming closer. Hooray for the winner, drops back to the inside of Spicy Victor, who moves up into 3rd as they turn for home. Schrader Hanover in front. It's Schrader Hanover, Facing Justice gaining ground. Go Get Bruce 3rd. Spicy Victor back 4th, coming to the 8th pole. It's still Schrader Hanover holding sway, and Schrader Hanover's gonna go coast to coast. Facing Justice 2nd. Go Get It 3rd from Spicy Victor in 2:01 and 4.
Jay Harris is on with us, everybody. Welcome, Jay. Who else you got? Who else you got over there? We could see some other people there.
We got
What? There's 4 people.
Travis Henry,
Why we got the whole London room?
Warner, Paul McKenzie, Tyler
This is.
Garrett Root.
Oh my God.
Everybody's on. Everyone that's not on the racetrack right now is in there.
Yeah, pretty much.
So this is
I don't know if
basically
I'm
an
stuck or
unprecedented. This is really an unprecedented view for people that aren't horsemen. Nobody gets the view of the driver's room.
Yeah, this is it. It's stellar.
It's exactly how I envisioned it.
3 TVs and a bunch of dudes.
Dudes hanging out watching us.
Yeah. So what about your guys' picks? I don't really like them.
Well, I mean,
Well, none of us had that horse.
Everybody
yeah. Do you
did
guys
in the
know
first
something?
leg.
No?
It was a trainer change. How come you guys didn't pick up on that?
Because we don't have programs that say that.
Was it a trainer change?
No, I saw the trainer change and still didn't use. Still didn't use.
Carl McNaughton to Patrick Bissett.
Yeah, that trainer's got a 132 average. Why wouldn't you bet that horse?
I mean, 132. Now that you say that,
We need to get you on the show before the race.
Well, I was trying.
That's true, you were.
Yeah.
Jay, for
Well, I mean, now
a
you're trying to
20-something-year-old,
here. Let's talk about.
Jay, for a
talk about
20-something-year-old,
some
you
drives.
suck.
All right.
Yeah, let's talk about some of those drives you have coming up.
All right. Next race.
Which I have to remember what races you're on because I'm a prepared host. I obviously know this, but for your reference, in case you might have forgot.
Yes.
What about
Let's see, your emotions.
Emotions. Yeah. Drop it in class.
That's all you got?
I've never driven the horse. Don't know anything about it, but it's dropping in class. It faces a very easier group, but it looks like it's one-dimensional.
Who is that?
I
Colin?
agree with the.
Is that Colin Kelly next to you?
Yeah.
Who's he got in there?
He just-
That's my favorite London driver right there.
Oh,
Typical East Coaster.
There's nothing wrong with the coasters.
There's everything wrong with them.
Wait.
Who's on my side? East Coasters.
all right. So
These guys hanging out.
we
This is
got
awesome.
we got a little bit of insight from the racetrack. You know, who gets the most crap in the driver's room, stuff like that. Give us a little more inside info up there, because we are coming up there later this year.
Scott Young, 100%. Yeah, he takes all the abuse.
Is Scotty in there?
Yeah, he does deserve it.
Why does he deserve it? Why does Scott deserve it?
Because they're idiots. That's an idiot.
I mean, Scott Young's the only one I know who's fallen out of a race bike in a post parade.
In the paddock. Not even
Oh yeah, not even in the post parade, in the paddock.
So,
Won at least 1 2 years.
yeah. Well, yeah, he takes the cake. If you just hear the top though, you'll understand why.
Well, we saw, you know, you got another one in the ninth there, Hawaiian drumming from the outside. What do you know about this one? You drove that one.
It runs in really bad. It runs out really bad. It's not much fun.
I've driven a lot of horses like that. Those seem to be pretty common at the B tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, if only they had better horses at the B tracks.
What about Little Quick in the last race?
I like that horse. He's all right. I think he'll be legit.
He can't say too much because Colin, who's right next to him, is driving It's Macademic, who I actually have picked on top.
He'll probably fuck the race up.
More than likely.
Well, I mean, Colin, you could tell us right here what you want to do in that race.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, he's gonna roll him. What the fuck else would he do? Tighten the line.
I haven't rolled him since like February the 9th. He hasn't been on the front.
You're on the front of the
Oh, so
three-quarter.
you're not allowed to move the front in the race? No,
Get
he's not
blocked.
to.
Look, they're arguing. We got them arguing on the air.
I like the we have raised the program.
Early you want.
Charlie,
Drivers
Charlie,
reading
chime
from-
in here. Chime in,
Good
Charlie.
sign.
Yeah. He needs to read it more.
Jay Harrison's Little Quick will win the last race. I beg to differ.
Well, Jay thinks he's going to win every race.
That's why he's always at the front early. He tries to win every race. It doesn't work.
Well, I mean, if you just watch London, that's how you win.
Dad named that horse after Jay Sex Life.
Little Quick.
Oh, this is by far the best show we've
Charlie
had.
on the show, and then everybody comes and hijacks it. It's beautiful. I love it.
Where else can you get this entertainment? You can't get this anywhere else.
There's Rob Shepard.
Rob, how many are you going to win tonight?
The people up to the pants. Oh, I'm in this race. Take over.
Jay says he's in this race that he can't talk anymore. So
Oh, well, how come you're not in this race then, Colin?
I'm not until the last.
Well, you stuck around.
Every race.
I'm not good enough.
Okay, it's so long as you say it, because then I don't feel bad saying it.
Exactly.
Hey,
guys,
listen,
you guys
listen,
are
I
doing
picked.
We're gonna get back to everything here.
All right,
guys.
fine. Yeah, thanks.
Tell you good luck.
Good luck,
Stay
everybody.
safe.
He'll have this from the front, even though it doesn't steer that well.
Everyone stay safe, clean races. I want to make sure everyone comes back.
Yeah, and thank you, everybody. Thank everybody for coming on. We appreciate it.
Rubbing his racing.
That was very strange.
That was awesome.
That was the epitome of chaos right there.
I don't think.
Kinda reminded me.
I don't think you know how many viewers we just had watching that.
Oh, that was awesome.
It kind of reminded me. Do you guys remember the one show on Animal Planet about jockeys? Except it was terrible.
Yes,
I feel
you remember that.
Yes.
I feel like you need one for the driver's room, but just don't edit it.
Yeah, it would have to be on HBO.
It would have to be on Cinemax. HBO wouldn't let us on. Are you kidding me? That's why we
Death
have to do
Force Fan
Facebook.
Comedy Jam.
We're barely allowed on
That was-
Facebook right now.
Okay, so where are we going now? What are we doing, boys?
Well, I mean, now I think it's time, because I've got questions for Charlie that I purposely, because Charlie's been on the phone with us for a while,
Yeah.
and I purposely didn't ask him these questions because, I kind of wanted to get to know him on the show a bit more. Because Charlie, you were admittedly an enigmatic figure in the
Right.
scope of the NAHU world. So I guess, firstly, because are you from Michigan? First off,
I'm from Michigan, yes.
so then, how are you exposed to racing out there?
So, I stay about 10, 15 minutes away from Hazel Park. So, I've been going to the racetrack since I was about 3-4 years old. And when I was younger, I was going to the racetrack maybe at least 3-4 times a month, if not more. So, since the age of 3-4 years old, I used to always go to Hazel Park. And back then, they had harness racing. But about 4 or 5 years ago, they switched over to thoroughbreds at Hazel Park and took the harness to Northfield Downs.
So then, you just, it was this traditionally from like 3 years old to what point in your life you're going to Hazel Park?
Correct. 3 years old, Hazel Park.
Now-
Like, you clearly don't go there much anymore.
No, because they have thoroughbreds and they're like cheap $5,000 clamor mountaineer type horses.
Mountaineer type horses, though, they're magical in their own sense.
Now-
You play a lot of Mountaineer, though, too, don't you, Charlie?
I do. I mean, believe it or not, those cheap races bring prices.
No, they do. That's a place I can't play, but it's, I get it. I know what you're doing, but
But that also leads me to my next question of curiosity. When do you start betting then?
When did I start betting?
Yeah, that you can say on the air.
Are you the FBI? I was probably having wagers played probably when I was like 10 years old.
When you were 2 years old?
No, 10.
Ah.
10.
he's been
So-
firing since
I
he's
was
been
having
10.
wagers played when I was 10.
So the question I had, because I've raced at Hazel Park,
Mm-hmm.
now the horses have to cross the street to get to the track. Were you one of the hecklers underneath the grandstands that came out by where they roped it off, where the walkway was to get across there? Were you one of the hecklers that was always out there?
Sometimes because they have like the two security guards onto like both sides with like the
Mhm.
ropes, and like if you start getting into like the drivers too much, they'll say knock it off.
See, they didn't do that when I came up there because it was the first time I had raced there. I had 5 horses in, and I had some guy heckling the crap out of me that night, and he was just going off on me. Go back to Chicago. You suck. Chicago horses suck. Blah, blah, blah. And he just kept going off. And they didn't say a word to him. Every horse I drove 5 horses that night. And they didn't say one word to him.
So then,
I've
the
heard-
question is, Charlie, what does Michigan have against Chicago?
I don't know.
Chicago
Maybe it
seems
was just a
perfectly
hater.
Nice place. Then again, Rod, you also, for some reason, have had the most hostile people yell at you, including throw things at you, particularly beer cans.
Well, that's part of harness racing, I guess, is being heckled. Like any sport in the world, you're gonna get heckled.
Well, Rod, my question is, was that on $2 beer night? Because anything might have happened. So,
Oh no, there was no $2 beer night.
$2 beer night.
Balmoral didn't have $2 beer night, and I don't know. No, because it was a Saturday night that I drove there the first time.
Okay.
So Saturday night, there's never any specials anywhere.
Right, that's true. It's always Fridays.
Yep.
So I want to say, like, Charlie, you're a pretty big fan of the show. Like, you were listening to us back when we had no video. You'd pay attention to the picks and things like that. What like drew you to the show?
Well, first of all, like I said, like I love racing in general, but harness racing is like my first love, or however you want to spin it. Harness racing is my main focus. So any type of article or radio show or video that involves harness racing, I take a hold to it. I show support to like any type of harness racing that's going. I try to show support to it because, like I say, I was growing up. That's all that I watched at Hazel Park was harness racing.
That's how I kind of got started too. Like I started when I was a kid. We had like a Meadows off track here, and went up, and that was what was playing in the amphitheater. Meadows racing, and that's where I started. I had it on TV at my house, and I was able to watch that. And I'd go up, drive up 20 minutes, get a program, be able to watch it at home. That's how I learned how to handicap. So
I feel like I'm the only one of us that started with thoroughbreds.
Because you are. We're pure blood.
That sounds.
And somehow it's your show, Ray, so I don't know what.
Well, clearly my other ventures have been paying off.
Hey, this is starting to get bigger.
Hey, I want to give a couple more shout outs while we got a second. Jared Fry, Albert Nash, huge harness racing fan. my cousin Shannon, Terry Wilson, Homer.
Terry's always watching.
Terry's always watching. Daniel Kahn is always watching. Mitch McKenzie, he's watching again out in New York. That's all I got for now.
All right.
Went to London.
When you open up the phone book again, Rod, please just name off the names.
There's too
At this
many.
point-
There's too many to keep trying to name them all. So I'm naming what I can when I can. I like to shout out people.
Everybody.
No, I
Let's say
want to
everybody
shout
that
out
ever
people.
been associated with-
I like shouting people out because it's. See, Mitch.
I'm just emphasizing the fact
Listen.
that this is a phenomenon now.
Listen, Mitch McKenzie just says he thinks we're doing a great job. Probably because I just gave him a shout out.
Charlie likes us. He's here. Look at that.
And Mitch McKenzie's a big deal.
I've been striving for his approval for years.
2 minutes to London.
2 minutes.
2 minutes to London. This race, the one New Boston Town, 3 to 5. Do we think that she should be 3 to 5?
I'm not opposed to it, I guess.
The collection goes.
Get that.
I mean, she's supposed to take a ton of money here. She's won 4 out of 5 and just got beaten neck to one start, and she draws the rail. And she's a speed horse, so it's
Right.
it's pretty hard to
Set up
go
the 8 a
against.
little. I think I've overlooked the 8 some here.
The 8 for me is either on the front or nothing, because that last race was very bad.
But I think that if the 8 sits like a really good trip, this 8 has a big chance. But he's going to need a trip, though. I mean,
Yeah, I think she's going to need the 2-hole trip, but the only problem I see is if the 3 does go, this race could get a little bit crazy early.
Well, that's the thing. The entire race hinges on what the 3 does, I believe, because you know the 4 is going to sit. The 8 has to sit because it's behind the 1. If the 3 goes, it could really change the dynamic of the race, especially if the 1 doesn't want to let him go. So,
With 30 seconds to post, now
Terry Wilson says even Ray is doing a good job. I like this guy.
whoa.
I mean, I always try to do my best.
Oh
As
shit!
my mom told me.
We got to shout out Tim Twiddle and Butch Taylor real quick. They're watching.
oh, nice. Tim's watching.
Tim was on our Meadows show, which you can find on archive anywhere. Just Google it. January 19th. I still remember the day. That was the great.
That was a
That
really
was
good
a fun
show.
night, though.
That's going to be second to the next show we do, which we're going to talk about later on.
That's right. After this race, we'll get more into that. And also, now's the time, because I forgot to say at the top of the show, I was told Frank Catolo should be joining us.
Oh, wow. What's all the cameos? What are we going to do?
We're
Frank
popular.
Catolo, my father will.
We're very
at some
popular.
point. Meanwhile, they're lining up here for the 8th from London. 3 to 5 on the 1, New Boston Town. 7 to 2 on the 4, Daenerys. Now 3 to 1. And at 9 to 2, the 8, Emotions. They're moving around the turn. You think if Jay Harris loses this race, he'll never come on the show again?
No, I think he likes coming on.
He likes
I was
our
wondering if he
show.
was just going to blame us. Feel the same.
Somehow I think if he wins, he'll be back.
Approaching the start. And they're off. Stonebridge Honey leaves out. New Boston Town to the inside. Fights Emotions. Gonna get away third around the first turn as the rest duck in single file to the front here. Trying to take over New Boston Town from Stonebridge Honey to the outside. Emotions stalks closely from third. Fourth then comes Sparkle to the backstretch in front of Daenerys. Fifth. Sixth then Uptown Woman in front of Ms. Michaela D. And now Who's the Queen on down the backstretch. In front here, Stonebridge Honey. Hudon leads New Boston Town by a length. 1.25 through a 28-4 opening panel. Emotions paces third into that turn. Sparkle is caught up from fourth, out of the pocket now. New Boston Town circles by Stonebridge Honey, and tracking that move, Jay Harris and Emotions turning into the stretch first time. New Boston Town takes the lead, but here comes a wave of Emotions on the outside, moving up to take the front from New Boston Town, the odds-on favorite heading to that half. Back third, shuffled back, Stonebridge Honey through a 59-second half. 30-1 that second quarter, circling into the turn. Emotions can't clear as they move on to the back stretch. Emotions and New Boston Town, stride for stride, leading Stonebridge Honey third, now pulling to the outside. Daenerys has moved up the inside to take fourth. Soon to be stride for stride with Sparkles on cover from fifth, as Emotions now clears the front heading to three quarters. It's Emotions in front by a length and a half. Outside, Stonebridge Honey dropping back to the inside. New Boston Town, 3/4 in 1:28, a 29-second third panel around that final turn. Emotions trying to hold control. Stonebridge Honey to the outside second. Sparkle has moved up to third as they turn into the stretch. It's Emotions in front, outside drifting a touch. Stonebridge Honey only a half length away. Deeper on the track, Sparkle. It's these three into the 16th. Stonebridge Honey from in between takes over, and Stonebridge Honey gonna take it narrowly over Emotions, then Sparkle towards the center of the track third, 159-4.
So
I couldn't have been more wrong.
Me either.
Well,
Brutal night in London.
it's a little rough. Whose volume is up again?
No one's volume is up.
Someone's was. Okay, we're good now. So
Because no one was talking.
So
said,
I want to say this because Colin Kelly commented on the video right before the race started, and he said Paul McKenzie says George Large is in here and he makes speed. Where was he at, Paul? Because I know you're watching right now. Where was he at, Paul? I didn't see him anywhere.
He's 0 for 6.
I just know his name is George R. Large, and that must be right, seeing as it's plural.
I laughed way harder than I should have at that.
Big announcement.
Oh, here we
That's
go.
how you introduce big announcements, is just by saying big announcement. I could run over to the piano and make some nonsensical noises, but that's really unnecessary.
Thank God you quit doing that.
Right.
It's called maturing and recognizing that my musical talents should be saved elsewhere. So, January 19th, we went to the Meadows, and October, whatever, we went to Hoosier Park, did live shows there, kind of tested out the waters for a potential endeavor to say that April 20th, that's of this year, April 20th, 2018, North American Harness Update will be live from Vernon Downs, doing another live show. But this is special because aside from our live shows at the Meadows and Hoosier, our show will not only be simulcast live on our live feed over NAHU Picks, but also off the race feed at Vernon Downs. That's April 20th, 2018. Big plans for that show that we can't really reveal just yet, but it's going to be revolutionary, possibly. I had possibly revolutionary.
If everything goes to
Not just because
plan,
honestly,
if everything goes to plan, it will be the first time you're ever going to see what we're doing by anybody,
and that is
ever.
me to a full hour of stand-up.
Ever.
Oh God, that would.
Ray,
It's gonna be
give me the race results from the 8th at London. We need those for the feed.
8th
Numbers.
in London, the
Numbers.
2 Stonebridge Honey. What?
The numbers.
2834.
Got that, Dan?
2834 in the 8th at London, 159-4. Stonebridge Honey, 1960 to win. I find it kind of strange that. Wait, has there been two prices so far? Who won the
Yeah.
first?
Yep.
This is
I
going to be
would
a
have
big
never
thing.
thought that the one have hit the board. there's no way before the race you'd have told me the one with the board. I'd have said no way.
I'm not just like kissing butt here. Like I thought Harris drove perfect. He just got picked off, but that was a great drive by him from where he was and the moves that he made. He just got a little tired, but that's the way you want your horse to be driven if you bet him, I think.
Yeah.
I feel like I can take partial credit because I said to the drivers' faces, you have to be on the front to win at London, and clearly Jay Harris followed. Not like he already did that to begin with. Just saying. I just got to somehow be involved. That's the point.
Compared to races 2 and 3 tonight, like I'm okay with how that race was driven and the things that were done. So I mean, that was what I want to see if I'm gonna bet. And win or lose, I didn't have the winner, but that doesn't matter. Like I like to see the aggression. I like to see guys getting after it and trying to win races. I mean, that's how you get prices and how you get things. You know.
You feel like maybe we kind of like stirred up their spirits a bit because we got them trash talking each other.
They having a good time.
Yeah.
That's what this show is.
No.
That's what we want to do. We want everybody that's on this show to have fun. We want everybody watching to have fun. And that's why we do this interaction on Facebook, Twitter, wherever everybody's watching. We want everybody to be involved and have fun with it. And that's why we got Charlie B on.
Yeah, because Charlie B wouldn't be on NBC with Bob Costas. No, not to say you couldn't, Charlie. Follow your dreams, you can make it. But
I know. You're living proof of it, Ray.
You and my therapist agree. So, what else from here? We have other dates we can announce.
Yes, we do.
Go ahead, Ray.
April 20th at Vernon. May 19th, Preakness Day. We're going up to Mohawk.
Can't wait.
A show there.
The new Mohawk.
We're still working out the technical aspects of how that one's going to go. But May 19th, the date is secured. NAHU will be live from Mohawk. Do we have June booked? Is June good?
June, Hawthorne, June 22nd.
June 22nd, Hawthorne.
Wow, look at all this.
And again, that one will be working out the kinks as that date comes closer. We have Adios Day, correct?
Yes.
Back at the Meadows.
At the Meadows.
Back at the Meadows, we're there. Adios Day, July 29th. It's the last Saturday.
Days before we talk about them.
Well, that's also why I added the question mark.
It is July 28th.
I was only off by one. Only off by one. And I would still fail the calculus test.
July so what else do we have tonight? We have Meadowlands Pick 4 for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. That'll be coming up in the second hour. And Levy's.
We're going to try to rip everything into that second hour.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the equivalent of doing 2 Pick 4s. We've done it before.
Yeah, because we're on video right now and we want to get the show.
I'm on you guys' schedule.
All right.
You guys' schedule.
Let me go through. Let me go through, and do this schedule. So I'm going to give the complete schedule for our live shows at the racetracks for this year right now. So our first show, Vernon, April 20th. Second show, that's Mohawk, May 19th.
How about dates, Rod?
That's what I said. I said April 20th.
Okay.
Mohawk, the new Mohawk, May 19th. That is on Preakness Day. Hawthorne, June 22nd. That's a Friday. The Meadows, July 28th on Adios Day. The Meadowlands, the following Saturday.
Did you say that one yet?
I didn't say that one yet.
That one yet, though? Okay.
Yes, we have that one.
I didn't know if we did or not yet.
Yes, we have that one.
Okay.
That is Hambletonian Day, which is Saturday, August 4th.
That's going to be a busy
August 19th at Tioga for their championship day. Several stake races that day. That is a Sunday.
That's the one where I had The double.
Yes. So that was Tioga. Then we have October 5th at Western Fair. And then October 26th and 27th at Pocono at the Breeders' Crown. Those are going to be our live shows for 2018.
2018 live shows.
If anyone wants to donate, advertise, just decide to give us money for no reason, you know, contact Rod.
That's Rod at NAHUPicks.com.
Yes, you
Speaking
can.
of NAHU,
You can feel free to give us any money to help us pay for these shows because it's not cheap. We travel.
Definitely, and especially considering the funding in the sport, any kind of support, at least it seems like is a drop in the bucket budget-wise. We don't really need a lot. We just need enough to, not starve and have to not walk there.
And if you look at these two, they look hungry.
Yeah, look at me. Look at me. I have a 32 waist. Come on. Help me out.
I mean, there's kids in Ethiopia eating better than these two.
Right.
I mean, come on.
I got to eat off the dollar menu every day.
I'm mostly muscle weight.
Oh, dude, you have a Whitey's right by you. I don't. My sister had to bring me White Castle on Monday. She went back home to Chicago, and on her way back, I caught her right when she was leaving. I said, please stop and get me Whitey's before you leave. And she brought me a sack of 10. I was so happy.
I love how we transitioned from like the massive live schedule to Rod's fast food habits.
Dude, White Castle is the greatest invention of all time.
White Castle is the greatest invention of all time. I would have to go with Fire Rod.
That's not an invention.
That's natural. It doesn't count.
Fire is an invention.
No, it is not.
What?
Unless you're going to count stuff made by Jesus. It is Good Friday after all.
God made
also
fire.
The Sabbath. When the Sabbath is Saturday.
Okay, we're going off the rails here or something.
The point being is man's ability to create fire is an invention.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Oh my
technology
God.
necessary to make fire is an invention. A flint and steel or a flint and a flint. I don't know how they did it back then.
I'd like to see God like have a lightning strike somewhere and create fire on your hair.
Mike, is now the time to really hit on me?
Not really, Butch. Not really.
I'm going to do a couple more shout-outs right now. And no, Daniel, In-N-Out Burger is not even close to as good as Whitey's. So don't say that.
It's never going to be as good.
Okay,
No!
couple shout-outs. Mike Bozich is watching. Doris Morello is watching. Amy Holler is watching. Chris Bulak is watching. Shout out to all those people. There's a bunch of other people. I think Travis Seekman was watching. I lost count. Lost count, everybody. Sorry.
I figured.
So we got what? 4 minutes to London.
4 minutes to London. I was figuring if I shouted out those names in a wrestling style voice, that would get me a lot of press. But that's aside the point.
Well, we can't get Ric Flair on the show, so you might as well channel something.
And that something is my favorite brother. Was good, brother.
We need more Charlie.
Charlie, just talk over Ray.
Charlie
That's what I do.
My day is going okay, Ray.
That's good. Did you have a good meal?
Are you sweet talking me?
Charlie, are you stealing the bit I just said to Mike 3 minutes ago?
No.
It seems to be working better.
I mean, I'm just trying to be a good host. I'm trying to make sure everyone's having a good time. I'm trying to make sure that everyone had enough to eat, a scrumdiddly-umptious meal, and tum-tums, and then they go do the show. I'm just trying to do my job. While standing around like a gremlin with my back hunched and my hands out going, what? And I spin around. My entire life, guys, is a joke. This race is coming up at London. 2 minutes to post. This horse that's currently even money is a Pat Shepard claim. Or first off the claim for Pat Shepard. But you know why this horse is 6-5. I actually explicitly remember seeing earlier this week, Charlie, you tweeting, and I quote, "Seems like everything Pat Shepard touches can't lose."
I did tweet that, and I think that's going to be proven true into this race with McCovey Cove-In, too.
Did you say Macaulay Culkin?
McCovey Cove-In.
Macaulay Culkin? From Home Alone fame?
Shut up.
No, Ray.
Oh, my. Ray, be nice to Chuck, please.
Listen, I had this horse picked on top as well on NAHUpicks.com. I don't know if any of you have checked it out today, but obviously a lot of people have because we're pretty popular.
I mean, you don't have to put it so pompously. I mean, but you could all NAHUpicks.com. I mean, it is the greatest handicapping site since Socrates.net when he handicapped the Breeders' Cup.
By the way, my second choice in this race on NAHUpicks.com, currently 13-1 in the 6.
Well, clearly, that horse should be your first choice now.
No.
Oh,
That's your top pick, Rod, at Western?
No, my top pick is the 5. And it's just based on the barn change. I mean, the horse come from a row, so coming out of a good barn as well. But I think this is a soft spot for this horse. But I do like the 6 here.
Here's the question I have, Rod. If the 6 13-1 and is your second choice, you saying that horse is live for the exotics?
Yeah, I just think the 5 is probably going to be too much for the rest of these to handle right now. And Drew Monty came up to drive 2 horses tonight.
With the 1-3 exactly.
You better throw the 6 on there.
I'd have to agree.
See, you know, and there's a claimant on the 5. Charlie, I give you crap all the time about not looking at NAHUpicks.com when you lose a bet and I had the horse or Mike had the horse and you hate it. You hate it, don't you?
Hey, don't bring up old news, please. Let's speak about something new here. And you're speaking too soon because this race has not went off yet. And I have a good feeling that maybe that the 6 won't be a part of this. And it'll be 5 with the 1-3 somehow.
Yeah, I don't like the 6 here either. Especially considering the fact that this guy is trained by a fast food mascot.
See, I don't mind the 6 in the race. I like that last race because the horse came over to London and woke up. So I like stuff like that.
And that was
get the same trip. I understand that he's not going to be on the rail, but something like that is more important to me. And he's raced against this 5 horse before. So
listen, this horse last week got run at the whole way and still hung on. I thought there was no way at the half. This horse, I thought she was done, and she just kept going.
She raced well, and she just might like it here. You know, you're going to get a lot more value. You know, you're getting 10-1 right there. Now, does she win it? Who knows? But I'm more interested in her underneath than some of this inside stuff. But that's just how I look at it.
I mean, price-wise, that's a good way to look at it too. You're gonna get a decent value out of this, out of her at least. True. Especially if she goes to the front.
I mean, but the 5-6 exact is paying $8, so I don't know how much. You know, really probably more value on the win end than underneath. That 10-1's a little bit false as far as the exotics go.
So that said, this is a race that seems like a pass.
No, this is a race that you go 5 with the 1-3,
6,
and you hit that.
What are those probables paying?
I'll tell you in a second.
5-6.
Really?
5-1 is $920, 5-3 is $21.90, and 5-6 is $13.30.
Now, Charlie, in terms of like exactas that are paying like that, how do you kind of like gauge value in the exotics? Like, what convinces you to play a exacta? and exact.
Well, first of all, I need to at least be able to double my money.
Okay.
If the probable won't allow me to at least double my money, I won't touch it because the risk outweighs the reward to it. So it has to be paying at least $4 for $1 for me to even touch it. If not, I'll just stay out of it and find something else to play.
I agree with that.
It's kind of like you're very liberal in how you approach races, if that makes sense. Where it's like you're betting more loosely, if that makes sense.
Well, with any bet that I do, if a horse to win, exacta, or whatever, I at least need to be able to at least double my money. That's part of the reason I don't play 2 to 5. I don't play 3 to 5s to win.
Mm-hmm.
It has to probably be at least 8 to 5 or 3 to 2 for me to even touch playing a horse to win.
Okay.
Now, what about like your multi stuff? I mean, you play a lot of multi races too. That's where your focus mostly is, right?
I do. What I've been finding out is horses that are low onto the morning line, like 4 to 5 and 6 to 5, those are the worst horses for you to settle down as a single. Time and time again, you think, okay, here's a free spot, and then next thing you know, during the race, the horse is nowhere to be found or falls short. I've been starting to look to find a horse into the morning line that's 5 to 2, 3 to 1, and use that as a single because short price horses are some of the worst to settle as a free spot.
That said, this field is lining up 4 to 5 on the 5, McCovey Cove.
Oh, God.
5 to 2 on the 1, Mighty Mouse. 9 to 2 on a Pint of Delicious. Field in motion at the start and off. And on the outside, McCovey Cove leaves out, as does Jeremiah's Jewel to that first turn, protecting pylon position Mighty Mouse. As the favorite, McCovey Cove edges out to take an early lead as they move around that first turn inside. Mock of the Town gets away second, Mighty Mouse third as they move on to that opening quarter. Parked out is Jeremiah's Jewel into fourth in front of TR Lexus Cam. Then it's back to What a Sassy Girl leading a Pint of Delicious and Hawaiian Drummond in the back of the pack. 28 and 3 the opening quarter. Around the turn, 1 to 5 favorite McCovey Cove in front by a length and a quarter. Mock of the Town is back second. Mighty Mouse is third as they turn to the stretch first time. Jeremiah's Jewel back fourth, 2.5 lengths off the lead. TR Lexus Cam then fifth. What a Sassy Girl sixth. Seventh, a Pint of Delicious, and out and moving from the back, at least trying to Hawaiian Drummond, half mile bound, chasing, pursuing McCovey Cove off a minute and 2.5 around the turn. Mock of the Town in the pocket, out and moving Mighty Mouse uncovered on his back, Jeremiah's Jewel as they move to the back stretch. TR Lexus Cam inside fifth. Third over in that flow, Wada Sassy Girl, a Pint of Delicious locked in, and is the penultimate of this group. Hawaiian Drummond towards the center of the track, trails on to 3/4, chasing McCovey Cove, under pursuit, outside Mighty Mouse, drawing alongside, and taking a narrow advantage at 3/4, 130 and 1. These two matching strides around the turn, leading Mock of the Town third, parked out, dropping back Jeremiah's Jewel as they turn for home, and in front, McCovey Cove outside Mighty Mouse. These two, as they come on down to the 16th hole, Mock of the Town with room to edge up the inside, but Mighty Mouse gets by in the final strides, and Mighty Mouse will win from McCovey Cove. Third then, Mock of the Town in a time that's just not there.